The next little follow-up I'm going to do from the first video is on these RHK bars and fitting those and the bark buster type deal. They've got this, they say that this little loop here means that your hands can come off the side if you need to, for whatever reason. I think it'll just add a bulk extra surface area here to try and prevent anything from contacting the levers and knocking those about. One thing I was skeptical of to start with, because I'm used to the traditional style bark busters, which, you know, they fit down here and they've got a joint that can swivel there, and then the joint out here can swivel and that can flex, and it, you know, and then you line it all up. Once you line it all up, you button everything down nice and tight, and then hey presto, it's all there. But sometimes you just can't quite get the articulation going in the joints, and it's a bit hokey. These have this sort of underslung design where it comes from the handlebar down around underneath and then back up, which I was a little bit skeptical about because I just haven't used it before. But you know, this section then is dead straight, and what that means is that there is no trying to find a way for the angles to all line up or whatever. So there's a slip joint in here, so it's got a little bit of sideways adjustment there, and there's probably enough in that it could have gone on this side of the clutch perch, or the clutch perch could have come over and it could have gone on that side of the clutch perch. So that's the sort of amount of adjustment you've got on the bars. Kill switch, kill button close to the handlebars, because the midget's hands are quite small, so I want that really close. And I've moved the clutch on that side and put the mount for the front of the bark buster, so that the clutch perch could be further away, so it gets a bit more leverage, because the 125's got a reasonably heavy clutch. It feels almost as heavy as the as my WR does. So it's got a pretty solid clutch. On some bikes, when you go to fit new bars, the throttle tube ends up with a lug that you've got to drill a hole for in the bars to make this all line up. I think it's really nice about this throttle sleeve throttle tube is that there is no knob. It actually clamps down based on the tension of the screws here, and it's a metal body, so I didn't have to drill anything. So assembly on this was quite quick, and I didn't have to mess about trying to find the right location. I did have to cut the end of the throttle tube off so that it's open, so that the end of the handguard fitting could fit in through here. That wasn't that hard, it took me 3 seconds. And again, starter nice and close to the grip, and then the mount point for this closer, and then the perch for the brake lever further away to increase the leverage. So when he pulls it in, you can see that. I doubt he's going to be able to put enough tension on it to get it past there. So yeah, and then the other thing I was concerned about is because this master cylinder design, I thought that might have contacted on this bracket here. So I test fitted everything first before I cut the bars down. The bars standard were like 20 millimeters wider than the original steel bars. I wanted to cut about 10 mil off the end of the bars, which would have made them just 10 millimeters wider than the standard bars. But I just wanted to test fit everything first. So I did a complete test fit, moved this in as far as I could before it gets to the curve. Test fit some of the brackets and the whatnots, and then worked out where this was, marked it off with with some tape, took it all apart, and then cut it. The other thing that happens with the 125 is that because of where this is, the bar pad's quite fat, and I went for the low bend. Maybe if you remember from the first video, I went for a low bend because we've put these risers in so we can drop the front end in the forks, and in doing that we've brought all the controls up further away from the throttle cables and from the clutch cable, and all the electrical connections are further away, which meant the cable sort of probably needed to be lengthened. So by getting a short bar, what that's meant is I haven't had to do that, but what it's meant is that this bar pad, because the ignition barrel bolts to the rear mounts for the handlebars, so that's meant that for that to work, it just needed clearancing out here. So all I do is with a knife, I just cut cut some of the foam pad out of the back, and that fits fine. So fits up right, and the blue is like it's a perfect match. I don't know if you can probably see it there. It's almost perfect for the Yamaha blue, which obviously they've done a pretty good job there. And the handlebars are darker than what they look like in the pictures, which has worked out really nice. Got a nice anodized sort of finish. Made sure that the cable ties weren't over the logos, so you can still see the logos there. Yeah, so it's worked out a lot nicer. And then this brake cable and the throttle cable and the clutch cable are all a lot less tighter than they were with the standard bars with those bar risers. So it's worked out pretty good. The other thing I want to follow up on is the tugger over the seat. Fits really good. Got a really nice low profile. And you can see that elasticated section, so you can just get your hand under there, but it keeps it so his feet won't get caught on it when he's trying to get them over the bars, over the back seat, sorry. So yeah, that's it.